What's up, everybody? It's Video Game Greek. I'm back with another episode. Now this is going to be a fun episode because everybody loves the Super Nintendo. This is going to be my top 10 games of all time. Let's get started. First one, Zombie Ate My Neighbors. Now this is a fun, unique game where it's a top-down view. You and a partner can work together to kill all the zombies, and what you try to do is rescue your neighbors. You do that by just going over them and like kind of touching them, and so each level is cleared when all the neighbors are collected, and then you go to the next stage. Now this did get a little criticism because it is not, even though it's two players, it is not split screen, so you kind of have to work together to stay on the same screen, which can get annoying, but you know, it adds to the strategy of the game and the difficulty of it, which is it does get very difficult towards the end of the game. The weapons in this are also pretty notable because they get pretty ridiculous as well. You start off with a squirt gun, but then you get some very random weapons against the zombies, which makes it a lot of fun. It's a very colorful game. It's fun. Next we have Super Punch-Out! Wow. The first time I played this game, I was actually in a hotel, and the hotel had one of those controllers hooked up to the TV, and for $7 you could get an hour of play or something crazy like that. And I played this game and I was blown away. It's very similar to Mike Tyson's Punch-Out!, the controls that is, but it adds a little bit of the difficulty and stuff like that as far as the super punches and that kind of stuff. But it's very fun. It gets challenging at the end. It's pretty much, if you can remember the actual patterns of the bosses, you'll be fine in this game. And if you like those types of games where you have to remember like, you know, pattern recognition, all that stuff, and a lot of shoot 'em ups have that, but in this game it's the same kind of like concept where you have to kind of memorize what the enemies do, and it's just a lot of fun to dodge the actual enemy rather than trying to punch him. It's a good time. Next we have Super Mario Kart. Now I do have a beef with this game, and it's not a beef with the game, it's the critics who say that this game does not hold up well today. And the reason why they say that, I guarantee, is because they have not put hours in this game when it first came out. If you were a kid in the 90s and played this when it first came out, you are still blown away by this game when you play it, and the lightning bolt of nostalgia that hits you when you fire this game up is very strong, and it's still a fun game to go back and play every now and then. For all the critics, go play your freaking GameCube. Next we have a great beat 'em up, that is Turtles in Time. Probably one of the best on the system, if not best of the 16 era. This actually brings together all the bosses from the cartoon series, which is really cool to see in one video game. And the gameplay is just, I mean, it's your standard beat 'em up, but it's fantastic. You're playing with the Ninja Turtles, hit detection, all that stuff's great. There are some super moves. The level design is never dull. They keep changing where you go back in time, and it's a good, and forward in time. It's a great concept. But they do it well because, like I said, they bring all the characters into the game that you're familiar with. So check out Turtles in Time. Huge fan of Contra 1 and or original Contra, I guess, and Super Contra. And Contra 3, the Alien Wars, is another fantastic side-scrolling shooter. Very challenging, but that's consistent with these types of games. I mean, it really expands on the Contra 1 and Super Contra, so with the weapons and every aspect. So it's just a great follow-up to the series. Check out that if you haven't played it. Now this is man, American Gladiators, right? But the amount of fun that this game is when you're playing with a friend who appreciates American Gladiators as much as I do. It's a fun game. The game controls are a little clunky. The hit detection with some of the I guess levels is like a little suspect too, but this is a fun game. I love the NES version, and people like the NES version more than this, but it's pretty much the same game, just with better graphics. So check out American Gladiators if you're a fan of the NES version. Now these two games, King of Dragons is one, and then Knights of the Round is another, are excellent side-scrolling kind of beat 'em up RPG type games. These games are so much fun. You level up your character as you progress through the levels. It's set in the like the medieval like Dungeons and Dragons type universe. It's just they do the Capcom does it so well. The way you can level up your guys, and usually if you really pay attention to how much your guy's leveling up and the weapon and all that stuff, it gets a lot of fun by the end, because you actually are a lot stronger and better than the bosses are if you really stay focused and if you're good at the game. Also in this game is you can ride horses and stuff like that, and man, that was a ton of fun as well. So these two games are great and well worth the price. I mean, you might be paying anywhere from $25 to $30 for these games, but it is well worth it. So check out both these games, Knights of the Round and King of Dragons. Alright, now I have 3 games here which count as one, but this is the Donkey Kong series. Probably the best platformer series I've played ever. These games are just crazy. They're so good, but all of them. I mean, I can't say enough. These are great games. If you're into platformers and never play this game, I feel bad for you, but go out and get those as soon as possible. Now this is obviously, I mean, it's obvious. I don't need to say anything else. This is I mean, probably best game ever. I don't know, close to it. This is, I don't even know what to say. But anyway, that's Video Game Greek. There's all my games. Alright, let me know if I missed any or if I should be playing any more. I have a pretty good SNES collection, but these games really are a ton of fun and a great replay value in all of them. So check out these games and let me know what you think of these games.